As an artist, I work mainly with a research-based approach, and I would describe that the work I make is conceptually based, that my own family were refugees. My parents migrated out of the Soviet Union in the late 70s. I was actually born on the way. Grew up in Los Angeles, definitely experienced life as an American for the most part, but always understanding that there was a sense of always being an other, that there was always a sense of instability in terms of place. Now, in trying to do this work on the personal level of what does it mean to have lived this way, what does it mean to be a refugee. 2 years ago, I took my mom back to Moldova for the first time. The experience was really overwhelming for both of us. While I've been here at Bemis, I've actually been translating that into physical work. That's in the form of a large-scale rubbing that I did of my great-grandfather's tombstone, which happened to be a 12-foot sculpture of a limbless tree. While here at Bemis, I actually discovered that on the 4th floor, magical place of many, many, many materials that we're all welcome to use. So I discovered these lenses called precision blanks, which are what optometrists use to make your glasses, or in this case, sunglasses, because all the lenses that I chose are green. I was particularly interested in those because I'm trying to recreate the experience actually of encountering this headstone, because it was actually buried in undergrowth within a forest sort of setting as a way to protect the monuments from being desecrated and used for building material. While I've been here, I've actually learned how to weld, and I've created these steel armatures that resemble the branches of trees. Why I'm interested in those lenses as a material is the idea of a precision blank being this material that's meant to help you see more clearly as an optic device, as a lens, but the contradiction of it being called a precision blank, which for me relates perfectly to the idea that I'm dealing with regarding memory and trauma, specifically on the part of a refugee. The other thing that's been incredible here at the Bemis is that they have an association with the Union for Contemporary Art, and I've been working really closely with a lab tech there named Jesse Ross. He's been leading me through all the steps that it takes to finally cast in porcelain, and I realized that this would be an amazing opportunity to take these personal, mythical objects and transform them materially. So in this instance, I'm speaking about my grandmother's scissors. I knew that my grandmother had survived World War II by fleeing all the way to Uzbekistan. It was a 3,000-mile journey. But the way she survived is that she happened to be a very talented seamstress, much to the shame of her family, who were all educated academics. So this trade is what saved her and her sister and her niece. So she was sewing for military officers' wives, and they didn't know that she was Jewish, and she had to pretend that the things that they were speaking about with their husbands in the evenings while she was doing their fittings didn't apply to her. So these scissors are what she carried because they were really light and easy to use in the hands, and she had kept them with her for all her life. And so that's why I'm translating all of these objects into other materials that sort of are emptied out a little bit of their true form. So many of the things that I'm representing almost seem like shapes without full bodies, limbs off of a tree without the actual tree existing, or in the case of the rubbing, without the headstone being there, floating in space. And now with the scissors, translating them into porcelain with only the tips dipped in a glaze that resembles the original silver of the scissors. In the studio, I've also been working with a large-scale weaving that I'm getting the skill to work up to. On that loom, what I'm doing is making a sampler to experiment with a variety of techniques that will ultimately allow me to make a tapestry that mimics a traditional Moldovan tapestry where these large roses often appear. And these are the same kind of tapestries that I would see in my family photos that you find in nearly every Moldovan apartment or home as a way to keep the house warm. It's been an amazing last couple months actually learning how to do all of these things that only started out as ideas without me actually having the skill or knowledge to translate them fully. But now I'm able to walk away being able to see the end of realizing these projects to their full form.